Hello, students. Welcome once again to this poem, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. And now, today we'll be doing the last part, that is part 7. Now, in part 7, the mariner describes the hermit. That is, as we know that in part 6, a ship comes guided by the pilot, and it comes to the ancient mariner, and he guides him to the harbor. So the mariner describes the hermit. He's a good and pious man who enjoys talking to sailors. And as the pilot's boat came along the ship suddenly sank with a terrible commotion. It just blasted and it wrecked. The mariner lay floating on the surface, and he soon found himself in the rowboat, and he grabbed the oars and rowed until they reached the shore. That is, there the ship which was carrying the dead bodies of the sailors and the ancient mariner, as it approached the harbor, it just wrecked and is blown off. And mariner found himself floating on the surface. And then he got a rowboat and he started rowing the boat to the shore. And as soon as that pilot was there, and as soon as they were on the dry land, the mariner begged the hermit for absolution from his sins, that he should be absolved of his sins, कि उसके पापों को धो दिया जाए. Just because he was a hermit, जैसे साधु था, साधु के आशीर्वाद से सब चीज़ें ठीक हो जाती हैं. That's what the mariner thought, and he started begging that he should be absolved of all the sins. पापों से छुटकारा मिल जाए उसे. He told his tale to the hermit. And though the mariner experienced agony as he spoke, telling the tale left him free. That while he was telling the tale, he felt so agonized. उसको बहुत दुख हो रहा था. But after he has told his story, he felt very light and he felt released from his pain. यानी जब वो कहानी कह लेता था, तो उसको एकदम आराम सा मिलता था. उसको अपने इस पेन से आज़ादी मिल जाती थी. So, the agony, that is the sorrow, however, still returns to him from time to time. तो ये जो agony है, जो sorrow है, वो बार बार उसको visit करती है, बार बार आती है. And at that time, the mariner must tell his tale, as he had just done to the wedding guest. कि उस वक्त उसको कहानी कहनी होती है किसी को भी, जो भी व्यक्ति मिलता है, और फिर वो अपनी आँखों से समझ जाता है कि who is that person who can listen to him, और फिर वो उस व्यक्ति को पकड़ के और वो कहानी कहने लग जाता है. So, this agony returns again and again, and then the mariner must tell his tale just to get relief from this pain. अपने इस pain से छुटकारा पाने के लिए again he has to tell the story once again, as he has just done to the wedding guest. The mariner says that certain faces impel him to tell his stories. वो हर किसी को नहीं कहता है, पर कुछ चेहरे हैं, कुछ लोग हैं जो उसको impel करते हैं कि उसी को ये कहानी कहनी है. It eases his soul to pray in church, surrounded by others, praying. And then he is actually penancing, वो प्रायश्चित कर रहा है, that he eases his soul, कि उसकी आत्मा को थोड़ी शांति मिल जाती है. To pray in church, surrounded by others, praying. And his parting message to the wedding guest is, he gives a message to the wedding guest, that a man who loves well also prays well. कि जिस व्यक्ति के दिल में प्रेम होता है, वो व्यक्ति प्रार्थना भी बहुत अच्छे से कर पाता है. And he who loves best also prays best. So love and prayer are closely connected because God loves all things and all people. Everything is made by God, whether it is nature, whether it is plants or animals or human beings. So if you destroy the creation of nature of God, naturally God will get angry. So the wedding guest is stunned by the mariner's revelations, and he rises and goes away. He did not go to attend the wedding by the time actually the wedding is over, and he did not feel like going to the wedding, so he goes home and he goes off to sleep. And when he wakes up the next day, he is wiser and sadder. That is, he is more sad, but he is wiser. Before he listened to this story of Marina, So this story of the Marina actually makes him a wise man. So this is the end of the story, end of the poem. It's a very, very long poem, and I've just given you the gist and the summary of this poem. And I will be posting the text of all these parts on my WhatsApp group. Though we have completed this poem, now I would like to give you a short summary of all the parts from part number 1 to part number 7. So in part number 1, the ancient mariner stops a wedding guest that is on his way to the wedding celebration to tell him his own life story. And the story begins out at sea where the mariner is setting the sail with a full crew. They get interrupted, and then afterward, compelled to listen, the guest returns to listening to the old man. They were going through the cold, and a Christian soul was sent to rescue them. Then who is this Christian soul? Christian soul is the albatross. And in part 2, after the mariner kills the albatross, the other sailors were very angry with him, but they sail on nonetheless. And as the sun becomes hotter, the ship and its sailors ran out of water, and there were creatures that appeared in the water along with fires set atop the surface of the ocean. The mariner felt extreme guilt for their thirst because of his slaying of the albatross. Just because he had killed the albatross, they were going through this pain and suffering. In part 3, after a long time without water, a ship began to close in onto the sailors. Although they could not cry for help because of the extreme thirst, the mariner sipped his own blood so that he could cry out at the ship, and he said, "A sail, a sail." The ship turned out to be a ship of horror, and it was occupied by Death, who was coming to collect their souls. Death and then killed all the sailors but the mariner, because mariner had to live life and death. So in part 4, the guest expresses his fear of the old man because of his unnaturally skinny body, and he suggests that he came back from the dead. He was thinking that it is the ghost who is telling the story, but the mariner assures him that the reason he is so skinny is only because of the depression he slipped into after all the deaths on the ship. So the mariner continued his story and said that he prayed, and then the carcass of the albatross fell off his neck. In part 5, the ancient mariner fell asleep, and when he woke up, the dead sailors began to do their jobs as silent ghost crew. Then a voice told him that he needs to keep praying for his sin of killing the albatross. In part 6, the mariner heard two voices arguing over what was driving the ship, and then all of the dead crew that haunted him disappeared but came back a little later time. Then the ship neared shore, and the ancient mariner noticed that there were more alive humans on the shore, which relieved him when he approached the shore. And in part 7, that is the last part, the hermit's singing was then overthrown by the mariner's ship being instantly sank. That is, the ship in which mariner was going, the ship sank, but not before they saved the mariner. That is, mariner was saved of this wreck. Then, compelled to tell his story to the hermit, the mariner sat down and shared his tale. That is, he told the story to the hermit, and he was in extreme agony before he told it, and explained to the wedding guest that at unpredictable times he is compelled to share his story, and until he does, he is in extreme agony. That is the penance he has to pay all his life, is that he has to keep repeating his story to whoever he found suitable. So this is how we have completed. Now you have an idea of what this story, this poem is about. This is a ballet, and ballet is a narrative poem. It tells a story. So in my next sessions, I'll be discussing the theme of the poem. theme and other things, the tone and all these things, the structure of the poem will be discussed. Thank you for listening.